This is actually happening with Trump. Please have a look.
We are learning new details after Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife made their first appearance in federal court this morning.
The two entered a not guilty plea after being charged in U.S. military operation over the weekend.
Trump is absolutely furious right now, as this is the moment where everything falls apart for him completely. January 6, 2026, Federal Appeals Court in New York, Second Circuit Court of Appeals. They looked at Trump's last emergency motion and they said no, said absolutely not. Unanimously rejected Trump's attempt to stop Judge Hellerstein from ordering Maduro to testify under oath. This was Trump's final legal avenue. Trump's last shot at stopping this trial from moving forward. Trump went to appeals court, said, please, you have to help us. Have to stop Judge Hellerstein from ordering this testimony. Have to stop evidence from coming out. Have to protect classified information that might be exposed. Appeals court looked at all of that and said no, unanimously. All three judges on panel said Trump is wrong. All three judges agreed Maduro's testimony has to happen. All three judges agreed trial has to move forward. Trump's response, absolutely unhinged. Went on Truth Social, started raging about ruling, said judges engaging in judicial coup, said judges are deep state radicals who hate America, said these judges letting cartel kingpins spill American secrets, just ranting and raving about how judges don't understand national security, basically saying judges trying to hurt country by letting this testimony happen. Come on, are you kidding me? This kind of meltdown shows how desperate Trump has become. Out of legal options, out of appeals, out of ways to stop this trial. All Trump can do is rage on social media and claim judges are part of some deep state conspiracy against him. But real quick, before we get into this, let's be honest. You can't really trust mainstream media anymore. That's why we built John Brown's show to bring you real stories, real context, and no corporate spin. If you want to stay ahead of the headlines, please subscribe, because you might think you are but aren't. Your subscription actually matters here. All right, let's get into what actually happened. Timing of this absolutely critical, because this is moment where Trump's entire Maduro operation completely falls apart. Think about what's happened over last few days. January 3rd, Trump orders raid. Trump thinks it's incredible military victory, celebrating, talking about how strong he is. By January 4th, Supreme Court rejecting Trump's emergency appeal. By January 5th, whistleblower coming forward saying Trump personally ordered raid illegally. By January 5th, Maduro in courtroom screaming he's been kidnapped. By January 5th, courtroom erupts into chaos. And on January 6th, appeals court rejects Trump's last chance to stop this trial. So in course of 72 hours, Trump's military victory has turned into complete legal and political disaster. That's how fast this has fallen apart. That's how completely Trump's operation has unraveled. Share this video with everyone you know, and here's what makes this appeals court decision so significant. Court said there's no irreparable harm from letting Judge Hellerstein's orders stand. Court said trial can move forward. Court said Maduro's testimony has to happen by January 12th, so Maduro going to testify, going to take stand and answer questions. Maduro's lawyers going to cross-examine government's evidence, going to challenge everything about legality of raid. All of that going to happen in front of Judge, who's already shown he's willing to rule against government. Judge Hellerstein already proved he's not going to just rubber stamp what prosecutors want, going to make careful decisions about what's admissible and what's not. Maduro's lawyers going to use that to their advantage. Appeals court decision directly referenced whistleblower allegations. Court said whistleblower affidavit statement from Special Forces operator who was involved in raid. That affidavit alleges Trump's actions in Mar-a-Lago. Trump overriding abort calls killed 12 Venezuelan troops unnecessarily. Court said whistleblower alleges Trump released drone video. Court said all of that is evidence that's now being considered. Court said all of that relevant to whether raid was legal. So appeals court basically validated whistleblower allegations, basically said, yes, these allegations appear credible and they're relevant to legal questions in this case. Now, those allegations going to be litigated in open court, going to be presented to judge, going to be part of public record. Think about what that means. Trump's last hope was that Attorney General Pam Bondi could go to Supreme Court and get emergency relief there. Trump's team immediately filed another emergency motion at Supreme Court asking them to intervene. Trump's team went to Supreme Court same day appeals court ruled against them. Said Supreme Court, you have to help us. Have to stop this trial. Have to protect classified information. But experts predicting Supreme Court going to deny this motion too. Supreme Court just rejected Trump's emergency appeal on January 5th. Just told Trump no. Supreme Court not going to overturn lower courts this quickly. Not going to keep reversing itself. So Trump probably going to lose at Supreme Court too. Run out of appellate options, run out of ways to stop this trial. Make sure you're subscribed to John Brown Show and here's what absolutely crushes Trump about this situation. Trump thought he had this military victory, thought he could control narrative, thought he could parade Maduro in front of cameras and show how strong he is. But instead, Trump's in position where has to watch his own military operation get picked apart in open court, has to watch Judge Hellerstein rule against him, has to watch Maduro's lawyers challenge legality of raid, has to sit there knowing whistleblowers are testifying about what he did, has to sit there knowing judge might rule that entire raid was illegal, has to sit there knowing his big military victory might end with Maduro being released and all charges being dismissed. That's not victory. That's complete disaster. Let me explain exactly what happened with this appeals court decision because this is really important and shows how completely Trump has lost control of this situation. Trump's legal team went to Second Circuit Court of Appeals, which is appeals court that hears cases from federal courts in New York and some neighboring areas. Trump's team filed what's called emergency motion for stay. Stay is basically order that freezes lower court's decision. Stay would have paused Judge Hellerstein's orders, would have temporarily blocked Maduro's testimony order. Stay would have given Trump's team more time to appeal and try to get Supreme Court to intervene. So Trump's team trying to buy time, trying to delay this trial, trying to find another way to stop it. Way you request stay is you go to appeals court and make argument. Say, here's why we need stay. Here's why lower court's decision is wrong. Here's why stay would serve interest of justice. Appeals court looks at your arguments and decides whether to grant stay or deny it. Trump's team argued stay should be granted because revealing operational details of raid would compromise classified intelligence. Argued Maduro's testimony could expose sources and methods that U.S. military used to capture him. Argued allowing testimony would harm national security, so Trump's team made national security argument, said this is about protecting American intelligence and protecting American troops. But appeals court looked at all of that and basically said no, said there's no irreparable harm, said classified information can be protected through other means, said Judge Hellerstein can issue protective orders that limit what information gets released publicly. Said trial can proceed while still protecting classified material. And here's the thing that really matters. Appeals court was unanimous. All three judges on panel agreed Trump was wrong. All three judges agreed stay should be denied. Wasn't close call. Wasn't two judges saying yes and one saying no. Was all three judges saying no. Complete rejection of Trump's arguments. Share this with everyone because appeals court decision referenced Judge Hellerstein's courtroom. Court said Judge Hellerstein is competent judge who's been handling complex cases for years. Said Judge Hellerstein can manage classified information issues. Said Judge Hellerstein doesn't need Second Circuit to come in and override his decisions. And here's what's really important. Appeals court basically endorsed what Judge Hellerstein did in that chaotic January 5th arraignment. Court said Judge Hellerstein handled that appropriately, said Judge Hellerstein did what he was supposed to do, said appeals court doesn't need to reverse Judge Hellerstein's decisions. So Judge Hellerstein basically getting reinforced by appeals court. Judge Hellerstein's authority being backed up by higher court. Judge Hellerstein gets to keep making decisions in this case. Appeals court decision also directly addressed whistleblower allegations. Court said Special Forces operator who came forward, that person's affidavit, makes serious allegations about raid. Said whistleblower claims Trump watched raid live from Mar-a-Lago. Said whistleblower claims Trump overrode abort calls. Said whistleblower claims Trump's actions killed 12 Venezuelan troops. Said whistleblower claims Trump released drone video. An appeals court basically said all of that is relevant, said all of that is admissible, said all of that should be presented in trial, so whistleblower allegations not going to be suppressed, not going to be kept secret, going to be part of public record. Now let's talk about Trump's response, because this really important for understanding how desperate Trump has become. When on Truth Social started posting furiously, said judges engaging in judicial coup, said this is deep state conspiracy, said judges hate America, said judges letting cartel kingpins spill American secrets, basically attacked judges personally, basically questioned their loyalty to country, basically suggested they're traitors, and that's absolutely inappropriate. Not how president should respond to court decision. Even if Trump disagrees with decision, even if thinks decision is wrong, Trump shouldn't be attacking judges publicly, shouldn't be questioning their patriotism, shouldn't be suggesting they're enemies of country. But Trump also showing how desperate he is. Out of legal options, exhausted his appeals, tried Supreme Court twice and lost twice, tried this appeals court and lost, doesn't have another court to appeal to, doesn't have another legal avenue. All Trump can do is attack judges on social media. All can do is rage about ruling. All can do is claim it's all conspiracy. But that doesn't change ruling, doesn't stop trial, doesn't prevent Maduro from testifying. And Trump knows that. Knows he's lost, knows this trial going to happen, knows Judge Hellerstein going to let all this damaging testimony come in. Trump's team immediately filed another emergency motion at Supreme Court. Trump's legal team, probably Attorney General Pam Bondi, filed emergency motion asking Supreme Court to intervene, asked Supreme Court to grant stay, asked Supreme Court to stop Judge Hellerstein's orders. But legal experts predicting Supreme Court going to deny this motion too. Supreme Court just rejected Trump's emergency appeal on January 5th, not going to overturn that decision day later, not going to reverse course that quickly, basically telling Trump no, and Trump keeps asking same question expecting different answer. But courts don't work that way. Once court issues ruling, same court, not going to immediately reverse itself. So Trump's motion at Supreme Court probably going to fail too. And here's what's really significant about this moment in time. Trump, completely out of legal options, has exhausted every avenue available to him, has gone to Supreme Court twice and lost twice, has gone to appeals court and lost, has gone to trial court and lost repeatedly. Every single court that's looked at Trump's arguments has rejected them. Every single judge has sided against Trump. And Trump doesn't have anywhere left to go. Can't appeal anymore, can't file more emergency motions, can't ask courts to intervene. All Trump can do is watch as this trial proceeds. All can do is watch as Maduro testifies. All can do is watch as Maduro's lawyers challenge legality of raid. All can do is watch as Judge Hellerstein makes decisions that probably going to go against government. Whistleblower allegations now locked into record. Whistleblower's claims now going to be part of trial. Whistleblower's testimony about Trump watching raid live from Mar-a-Lago that's going to be presented to Judge Hellerstein. Whistleblower's claims about Trump overriding abort calls that's going to be presented. Whistleblower's allegations about drone video that's going to be presented. And Judge Hellerstein going to have to consider all of that when making decisions about whether raid was legal and whether evidence should be admitted. And here's what makes this so serious for Trump legally. Trial now locked in for January 12th. Maduro's testimony happening on January 12th. That testimony going to happen in front of Judge Hellerstein. Going to be recorded, going to be reported by media. And Maduro's lawyers going to use that testimony to challenge legality of raid. Going to use that testimony to argue Maduro was illegally captured. Going to use that testimony to argue Maduro's constitutional rights were violated. And Judge Hellerstein going to have to consider all of that. If Judge Hellerstein agrees with Maduro's arguments, if rules that raid was illegal, if rules that Maduro's constitutional rights were violated, then Judge Hellerstein might suppress all evidence, might rule Maduro has to be released, might dismiss all charges, and that would completely invalidate Trump's military raid, would mean Trump ordered illegal military operation and captured someone illegally, and now they have to be released. Absolutely devastating for Trump. Exactly what Trump was trying to prevent by filing all these emergency motions. But Trump couldn't prevent it. Lost every legal battle. Now has to watch as his military operation gets picked apart in open court. Let me break down what this appeals court decision actually means and why it's so significant for Trump's entire legal and political position. Because this is a moment where Trump has completely run out of options. First, let's talk about what appeals court's decision means for trial, because this is really important. Appeals court said Maduro's testimony happening on January 12th Said Judge Hellerstein's orders stand. Said trial moves forward. So Trump can't delay this, can't postpone this, can't find another way to stop it. Maduro gonna testify. Maduro's lawyers gonna cross-examine evidence, gonna raise constitutional questions, and Judge Hellerstein gonna make decisions based on all that testimony and all that evidence. And here's what's important about Judge Hellerstein's track record. Judge Hellerstein is a federal judge who's been on bench for a long time, has presided over complex cases, known for being tough but fair, known for following law carefully, not going to just rubber stamp what prosecutors want, going to carefully consider Maduro's arguments, going to carefully consider whether raid was legal, going to carefully consider whether evidence should be admitted or suppressed, and Maduro's lawyers know that, going to use that to their advantage. Now let's talk about what whistleblower allegations mean, because this is absolutely critical. Appeals court decision referenced whistleblower affidavit. Court said whistleblower made serious allegations. Said whistleblower alleges Trump watched raid live from Mar-a-Lago. Said whistleblower alleges Trump overrode abort calls. Said whistleblower alleges Trump's actions killed 12 Venezuelan troops unnecessarily. And appeals court basically said all of that is relevant and all of that going to be considered. So whistleblower allegations not going away, not being suppressed, going to be part of trial. And those allegations absolutely devastating for Trump, because they show Trump personally ordered this raid without Congress, show Trump personally micromanaged operation from Mar-a-Lago, show Trump personally overrode military judgment, show Trump's actions resulted in unnecessary deaths. And if those allegations are true, if proven true in court, then Trump violated War Powers Act, violated Constitution, might have committed war crimes, might have obstructed justice. So whistleblower allegations not just damaging politically, they're damaging legally. Kind of allegations that could result in criminal charges against Trump if evidence supports them. And here's what's important about broader pattern. Trump has been fighting tooth and nail to stop this trial, been filing emergency motions, been appealing to higher courts, been trying to use every legal maneuver available to him. But Trump has lost at every level. Lost at trial court, lost at appeals court, lost at Supreme Court, and now Trump completely out of options. Has nowhere left to go, has no more appeals, has no more emergency motions, just has to watch as this trial proceeds, just has to watch as judges rule against him. Fact that Trump is attacking judges on social media, calling judges traitors and deep state conspirators, shows how desperate Trump has become, lashing out because knows he's lost, attacking judges because has no legal arguments left, raging on social media because can't control this situation. And that's absolutely bad for Trump politically and legally, because looks like Trump being vindictive, looks like Trump doesn't respect courts, looks like Trump thinks he's above law, and that's going to matter to judges going forward. Judges probably going to be less sympathetic to Trump's arguments because Trump's attacking them publicly. Now let's talk about what happens on January 12th, because this is when everything comes to head. On January 12th, Maduro going to testify in federal court, going to take stand, going to be sworn in, going to answer questions from prosecutors, going to answer questions from his own lawyers, and Maduro going to say he was kidnapped, going to say raid was illegal, going to say he's being held unconstitutionally, and all of that testimony going to be on record. All that testimony going to be reported by media, all that testimony going to be available to Congress. And Maduro's lawyers going to cross-examine government's witnesses, going to challenge evidence, going to raise constitutional questions, going to argue raid violated War Powers Act, going to argue raid violated international law, going to argue entire prosecution based on illegal foundation, and Judge Hellerstein going to listen to all of that, going to consider all those arguments, going to decide what evidence is admissible and what's not. And if Judge Hellerstein agrees with Maduro's arguments, if rules that raid was illegal, then entire prosecution might collapse. Evidence might be suppressed, Maduro might have to be released, and that would be absolutely devastating for Trump. That would be Trump's worst nightmare. Would have ordered military raid, would have violated War Powers Act, would have violated Constitution, and then federal judge would have declared all of that illegal and invalidated entire operation. Would be humiliating, would prove Trump thinks he's above law, would prove Trump can't just do whatever he wants. Congress watching all of this. seeing Trump violated War Powers Act, seeing Trump ordered military raid without congressional approval, seeing federal judges are concerned about legality of raid, and Congress probably going to move forward with impeachment discussions, probably going to push for even stronger restrictions on Trump's military power, probably going to vote even more aggressively to limit Trump's authority. So Trump's Supreme Court losses and appeals court losses and trial court losses all going to reinforce what Congress is trying to do. And here's what's important about Trump's international position right now. Russia and China and countries all over the world watching this situation, watching Trump's legal losses, watching Trump's appeals get rejected, watching trial proceed, and they're all coming to same conclusion, concluding Trump violated international law, concluding Trump thinks he can do whatever he wants, concluding America is rogue nation, and that's bad for Trump's credibility, bad for America's standing in world, bad for Trump's ability to lead. Broader pattern continues. Trump tries to do something dramatic, thinks it's going to be victory, thinks it's going to show how strong he is, but instead everything falls apart. Courts rule against Trump. Congress pushes back against Trump. Whistleblowers expose what Trump did. And Trump ends up in worse position than he started. And that's exactly what's happened with Maduro raid. Trump thought he had incredible military victory, thought he was going to show world how strong he is, but instead created legal and political disaster. Created situation where facing potential impeachment. Created situation where military operation might be declared illegal by federal courts. Created situation where whistleblowers testifying about what he did. Created situation where Congress voting to restrict his power. And now Trump's completely run out of legal options. Has to watch as this trial proceeds. Has to watch as Maduro testifies. Has to watch as judges rule against him. And there's absolutely nothing Trump can do to stop it. Trump's exhausted every legal avenue, lost at every level of court, and now just has to sit there and watch as everything falls apart. That's where we are right now. That situation Trump created when he ordered Venezuela raid without going through Congress, without getting congressional authorization, without following Constitution. Trump thought he was being strong, thought he was being decisive, but instead violated law, and now paying price for it. That price only going to get higher as this trial proceeds. That price only going to get higher as Congress moves forward on impeachment, and Trump has no way to escape it. Trump has run out of options, has to face consequences of his own actions. This story continues. Stay tuned.